Um, hold on. We need to check if I'm live on YouTube. We are indeed live on YouTube. What kind of coffee is that? Does it have milk? It's got a bit of half and half cream in it and a little splash of milk because I didn't have that much half and half cream. It's not like anyone watches the streams on YouTube. Surprisingly, a few people do. And a few people have found the Twitch stream through finding the YouTube stream. So it's working. You know what's also working? I think I've lost a total of like maybe 100 subscribers or 200 because of streaming on YouTube. So that's been success, question mark, I think. Yeah. Is that a good thing? Maybe it's a good thing. You know, maybe I'm thinning out the subscribers that wouldn't care about my content, I think. Or maybe it's like a bunch of people from the zombie game. I don't know. Who knows? The nice thing about the YouTube stream is that when it's done, it turns into a full-on video, and then that's like a permanent VOD. So you guys could see all of the live streams. If you click on the live section, you can see all of the live streams since like 2 months ago, since we were working on the Dragon Breath level. That you would not be able to do that on Twitch because these would just end up getting deleted at some point. So that's kind of cool. Discovered you on YouTube? Oh, there you go. There's Scotty. Basically because it has less ads. Does YouTube have less ads?
Shit my pants, I did.
Scotty gifting 5 subs. Wait, what the hell's the... Why is everybody gifting 5 subs? Is there like a deal going
Shit
on or something? What's the deal?
Shit my pants, I did.
Oh, it's 35% off. Oh, I see. Scotty, thank you. Thank you, guys.
Shit my pants, I did.
Scotty's the second person to do that today. Thank you. Shut up and take our money?
Shit my pants, I did.
Dude, thank you. No, thank you, guys. No, thank you. Seriously.
Shit my pants, I did.
I gotta get it. I gotta get my fucking dude. I gotta change my sub.
Throw a coin to the crim.
Throw a coin to the crim. Dude, Metal, thank you for the prime as well. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that, guys. Y'all are too kind. Dude, Hype Train? Scam Train? Pog? The Scam Train? All right, what else can we put on the list? This is our mini list within a list. What else do we put on the mini list? Animated system showing the ratings going up from D to the final player's rating. What's the mini list for? It's for today, yeah. I select things in here and then I put it on the mini list. This is the big list. This is the big boss. This is the mini boss. Main list, get rid of mini list. Well, we get rid of mini list by finishing mini list, and then by finishing mini list, we also slowly dwindle down on main list. Add Ronan to that list. Guys, let's be real. I don't know if Ronan would be a successful game idea. Like, I don't know if it would be. Obviously, execution matters, but I think I've learned that the idea matters a lot. I would love to make it. It would take me I think Ronan would take me a while to work on. The amount of animations we'd have to make. Make a mobile game? Well, according to some people, I've already made one. Apparently, Suit for Hire seems like a mobile game to some people, so I already did, supposedly. You just want to do zombies? We know. I don't know what I want to do after this. I'm going to be completely honest. I literally don't know what I want to make after this. It could be anything. It could be literally anything. It could be anything. A stealth game? Okay, maybe not that one. Okay, maybe not a stealth game. Maybe not a stealth game. Not for me. Not for me. Let's add 2 more things on this list. Let's add 2 more things. We have to select 2 things from this list. Maybe not the RPG because these are really simple tasks. That would be cheating. Although maybe we could do a couple of these. Maybe we should do a couple of these. Explosion sound impact. Brother, that's the same thing. That's the same thing. Explosion AoE damage. Better projectile model. RPG model. Proper sounds. Explosion sounds. Let's do explosion sound. Not the models, because I don't want to do any RPG modeling. Epic/Unreal just went live with a how to make an MMO. That's cool, man. Oh, yeah, the only thing we need to do for the Scorpion SMG is a sound effect for it. I'm not going to do that on stream because that means I have to design the sound effect and I don't want to do that on stream. Those Unreal Channel videos are mind-numbingly boring. The best ones are from, there's like 2 or 3 creators that I would say have really good presentation skills and they know what they're talking about really well. Those are great. And mostly it, but it's obviously going to be boring because it's very technical a lot of time and whatnot. So you know how it goes. A hype chest. I got batter up, dude. I don't play baseball. What the hell? Yeah, they're going to be boring because game dev is boring. It's just kind of, you know, it's just boring. You know, do I watch SciGraph and GDC too? Sometimes. I haven't been watching it as much lately. Mainly because I haven't found, like, I guess the need for it. Nothing beats the Gritty Goose. That is the best one. You can't really top that. They kind of set themselves up for failure after that. Because, like, what do you do to beat that? You need, like, now you need, like, I don't know. You need Ninja doing the orange, whatever it's called. I forgot what it was called. I forgot what the dance was called. Hardcore time based on static instead of just, does that mean that they'll fire off screen too? No. We have a system which is really stupid that I think a lot of people got confused about. We'd hard code the so the mercs would, the time from them starting the cone showing that they're about to shoot like a lethal shot versus them firing is based off of the distance of them to you, which I think is really bad because what ends up happening is they could be like literally right in front of you and they'd almost fire instantly, which I think was causing some like communication issues between the game and the player. So instead, I think what we'll do is we'll make it a static value, and then we'll just make it so that time is different based on the difficulty that you're in. And I think that might be a better way of going about it. The thing is, I don't want to make the game too easy either, but I don't think this is an element that makes it harder or easier. It just makes it more frustrating, I think. I think this just makes the game frustrating rather than more challenging. I watch a lot of keynotes, but only if the topic is relevant. Right. A lot of the times I try to find videos or talks that are somewhat relevant to me. Sometimes I'll watch something else, but I feel like I don't soak in that information as well as I would something else where it is actually relevant to me in that moment in time, where I actually potentially use the information that they're presenting or whatnot. You know what I mean? My brain doesn't soak in information that I don't 100% need in that time. Like, what? Am I subscribed to GDC? The GDC channel? Yeah, I am. I feel like they haven't uploaded a like video that I could care for in a while. Maybe this rendering one could be interesting. Like these kind of videos, like human sustainability, and stuff like that. I don't really care for. Maybe there's like some interesting subjects in there. Maybe I'm misinterpreting what the subject is. I don't know. I don't know. Urban planning. This could be kind of interesting. This could be kind of cool. If I work on Ronin again, this would be a good video for me to watch, but I'm not working on it right now. Making World of Warcraft, don't really care. Like, I don't know. Ready to unionize. Like, I don't really, doesn't really, it's not really something I, you know, I don't know. And I think I got to a point where I think videos like this, advice from artists for like portfolios, doesn't really help me too much anymore. I think out of this 52-minute video, I'd probably only get 1 or 2 tidbits where I'm like, oh yeah, that's interesting. But then beyond that, not really. So I don't know. I don't know. I just, and yeah, I'm not really in any like game dev circles that like share GDC talks, so it's hard for me to get like word of mouth which ones are really good ones, and I'm not going to go through like fucking 50 videos just to be like, well, that was a waste of time. I think the game needs some voice lines. Like if an enemy spot you, they would say something like "Get him" or "He's here." Make it feel more alive. We have some voice lines, but I've been the only one doing the voice lines. It's just me, but with different tonalities. Like we have some stuff, but it's not like super out there. It's kind of just hidden away. GDC's boring. It depends. There's some good GDC talks. Like I always keep looking back at the what's that one rabbit game? I can't think of the bunny game where you can like jump around and kick dudes and stuff. It's like the procedural animation one is really good. I don't know why I keep watching that one. What was the biggest obstacle and how I approach to solve it? Man, I don't know. Biggest obstacle is trying to finish this game and stay on track and not get burnt out to oblivion. Overgrowth? Yes, overgrowth. That's the one. Oh no, a second to-do list. It's like that George Bush meme where it's like, sir, a second to-do list has been it's been spotted. All right, let's see here. When a second comes down, this is pretty good to start with. Then we figure out some other stuff to do from there. Pretty good list. Let's start with this one. Set to green in the report card. So the idea is when something is like 7 out of 7, for example, this will become greened out. When all of the challenges are equal to this, then this will become green as well. And then all of these will basically, well, just these two would become green. This would, ideally, when you complete this, this would be legend, I guess. I think legend? Is legend our highest difficulty? I forget. Yes, it is. Yeah. Reminds me, are they still in a lawsuit with Valve? I think so. I think they are. Pretty sure. Overgrowth devs lawsuit with Valve. The last thing we saw was in 2024, I think. I don't know. It's a weird one because like, yeah, 30% is pretty high. But like, I don't know if I'd say that's antitrust. Like, how would that be? I'm curious, how would that be considered antitrust and anti-competitive for having a high percent rate? Like, there are other storefronts that you could go to, including Epic Game Store, etc., etc. I guess you could argue that Steam has basically not taken a monopoly, but they kind of have monopolized the PC market to an extent because everyone's libraries are on Steam. So everyone will feel inclined to just keep purchasing on Steam and not want to, like, this is the thing. And even with myself included, I don't want to go to other storefronts because all of my games are on Steam and I don't want to have it. It also doesn't help that all these other launchers are fucking dog shit. They run really slowly. They're laggy. They're just annoying. Navigating them suck. How do they all suck, man? Like, why? How is it possible they all suck? They literally just have to look at Steam. Okay, what does Steam do right? And they do provide a good bit to justify it. 30% for me to just work on my game and then market it myself, and then Steam can also potentially market my game without me even doing any marketing. And then on top of that, Steam just handles everything from taxes to payment processes to refunds to all of those things, and then I don't have to worry about that. In my opinion, I think a lot of people are super privileged and don't think about the fact that that whole selling distribution process is a fucking piece of shit. And if you didn't, if Steam wasn't a thing and there wasn't like this simple distribution process of just submitting a product and then just having it there, we'd be back with like CD-ROMs and all this shit. You wouldn't even be able to distribute your game. At that point, you wouldn't even get a 30%. You would get a 0% of anything because you wouldn't even be selling your game. And you could be like, wow, I could just have my own website. Yeah, fucking good luck with that. Good luck having your own website and then having to deal with refunds and all of these processes yourself. At that point, you'll probably be full-time just on distribution and not even working on your game anymore. Yeah. 30% sounds wild, but since other launchers are that bad, I guess that's the price we have to pay. Steam does hold, maybe not a monopoly, maybe not the word, but they definitely do hold a chokehold on the PC market to an extent. Like, just don't refund, just sell it old school. The thing is, in certain laws with like EU, etc., etc., You have to have refund policies, and I'm pretty sure you have to refund someone if they feel like they were not receiving the right product. And chances are anybody could prove that in some way or fashion. And then you're dealing with that. So there's so many things. I think people, like even myself, I don't even 100% know the extent of distribution and how much would have been needed to go into it if I didn't have Steam. But I know there's a lot. And honestly, when I think about that and not having to deal with that stress at all, and it's instead just me working on my game, 30% is honestly, while it is pretty high, it's not that bad when you really look at the big picture of like distribution. And people being able to download your shit. You don't have to worry about any of that. You don't have to worry about like servers or anything like that unless you're doing like multiplayer servers. But then that's your game. Like you're just focusing on your product, like your actual game. You know what I mean? Like that stuff is also pretty big too. I don't have to worry about any of that, like at all. Schedule 1, they have the front page of the store right now, which I'm pretty sure was just set up to. They did a video a while back publicly showing how Steam does all of these curations. So these are manual. I believe these are manual as well. I don't remember. I want to say the special offers are also manual. And then some are curated to you personally. And then some are based off of like sales values and other things as well. So there are things on the page that Steam curates. Like this, I'm pretty sure they would have asked Schedule 1, hey, we would like to put you on the front page. Can you give us a banner? And then that's what happened. I would release my game on Steam, GOG, and Game Pass. I'll probably look into that when my game goes into 1.0. The only problem with that is once you do that, you now have to, unless you build like an automated updater kind of thing that updates all of them, you'd have to manually update each store page. Featured recommended is not based on algorithm. I'm not 100% certain, but there's a whole video where they literally go through every section of the front page of this front Steam page, and they kind of explain each one. But the banner is 100% curated. They do that themselves. I've never seen Steam advertising. Well, not advertising as in Steam advertising my game, but they like kind of push your game using the curation stuff, and they put it on pages, and it's all based on your sales, right? They push your game more if it sells more because there's a business thing there, right? And it would make sense. They saw that fucking Schedule 1 was making a shit ton of sales, was overwhelmingly positive. All right, throw them on the front page. It only makes sense. Steam succeeds when you succeed, so. More cut for Steam. Exactly, yeah. It's the whole mindset of Steam succeeds when you, or the business succeeds when you succeed, which is the same kind of similar process for, I guess, Epic Games as well, with Unreal Engine. However, I honestly think they are going to change the payment process for UE6. If UE6 becomes an actual thing, I think 90% of it is not because they want a new big update version. It's because they want to change the payment process. I believe that's probably what's going to end up happening. I hope it's not the case, but you're kind of bad at pitching your game, but spectacular at pitching Steam. Weird. Are you a Valve employee? No, I wish. I'd be making shit ton of money right now. Man, I wish, dude. I wish. I am bad at pitching my own game. That is true. I'm so negative about my own game that I do anti-marketing for my game. Yes. Did I see the Half-Life 2 RTX? I saw it a little bit briefly. I saw it a little bit briefly. Okay, so here's what we need to do. If this is equal to this, then we shall set this, the color of this, to a different color. If it's false, let's go ahead and keep this color, the gray. If it's true, let's go ahead and set it to green. I'm going to try to find the proper challenge color that we have. This one. Try to use the same green. That way it's consistent across the board. Okay. I don't even need to test that. I know it works. Yeah, Crispy, am I using Common UI? I don't think I have Common UI in UE4. I used Common UI a little bit. I used a little bit of it in UE5, very, very briefly. Not enough, I think, to give it a proper, like a proper review, I feel like. But I was not 100% down with it. But I do need to, I think, give it a deeper dive to really see if I like it or not. I do need to give it a deeper dive, I think. Barclay, is it done yet? Is what done yet? My coffee? No, it's not done yet. I've still got half of it. I think it's hard to be positive when you know the ins and outs of the game, constantly exposed to it. I think it's also the fact that I know I could probably do better. It's just like I want to move on. So I think that's another factor. It's like, man, I could have done a much better John Wick style game, I guess, if we dumb it down to that. But alas. Alas, here we are. Can I do a strike through? I remember I did a strike through somewhere else for a different image. I don't know what I did. I want to say was it the strike brush? Oh, it was the strike brush. Ooh. That's fine. Do I have this UE4 skin linked in Discord? It's called Darker Nodes. Darker Nodes. It's a add-on. Is there a forfeit for not doing all your tasks for today? 50 push-ups? Dude, if I even try to do like 10, I'll die. My arms will fall off. Like, they'll just physically fall right off. 5 pull-ups. What the hell, man? Just try 5? What the... Fucking... Jeez. Oh, God. I hate... I'm so out of... I'm so not fit. I'm extremely unfit right now. Oh. All right, that's done. These will become green. Where the hell is that? Done. In fact, it's so done, I'm just gonna remove it. Let's see here. So let's put this in the completed patch notes list. Overall completion of series in the level select menu. In the main menu, we'll just do UI showing overall completion of series in the main menu. Nice. You have to buy this engine skin? Yeah, but it's totally worth it when you look at how fucking horrendous the default UE4 skin looks like. All right. Replace all the actors with proper enemy spawning system. Can we do something different? Fine, we'll do that one. Fine, we'll do it. Fine. There's another studio who remade all the assets with lots more geometry and PBR materials. Yeah, I saw Half-Life 2 RTX, and I think I saw a few ArtStation posts about it. They look pretty damn good. Can I see a final update coming yet? Well, we're working on it right now. This is the final update, so it's probably one of the reasons as to why I think we've been doing relatively good on time for it. Kind of, not really. I'm golden. Back in my day, you had to pay monthly to get dark mode for Unity. Yeah, that's because you were using Unity. It's like a punishment. I'm kidding. It was a joke. It's a joke. What's the time frame for it? I'm aiming to get this done by April 6th. And then when we release it, I don't know. No idea. Okay, let's work on this. God, I gotta fucking work. Replace all actors with proper enemy spawning system. Okay, so let's make a list first of which actors are culprits for this. So then that way I can keep track of them. Okay. Enemy wave sequence, which I believe is already done. This one has this, which is correct, I think. I'm assuming. Remember when Unity didn't give you shadows in the free edition? There's no way. They didn't do that. That's not real. That's fake news. I think, right? They wouldn't do that, would they? Is this UE6? Why does the UI look different? Yeah, they gave me early access to it. We're now forced to make Fortnite games in UE6. You need to pay for shadows. That would probably happen somewhere, wouldn't it? All right, we have another one here. BP_overlap enemy spawn sequence. Man, why didn't I use the same actor for this? Because now I have to take all of these and copy them in every single fucking thing. And supposedly, they all need a checkpoint now as well. Supposedly. Redeemed 5 push-ups. Are you trying to make me not focus on my work? You've run out of lighting builds. You need to pay $30 for 100 more builds. I'm sure the original Unity CEO, if given the opportunity, would have done that. I'm sure the original Unity CEO would have probably done that, given the chance. Definitely. Man's got the flow today. Is that Fabio or Crimson? It's me, El Fabio. Doesn't El Fabio mean just the Fabio? What we got going on over here? We got overlap enemy spawn sequence. But this one's incorrect. This one needs to be fixed. We also had a bug that I need to look at Discord, and I'll probably do that later. Probably still a relevant stud reference. I have no idea. You're asking the wrong guy. I'm like slowly disconnecting myself with all references of just like culture, like internet culture and everything. I'm slowly trying to inch away from it, brother. I'm trying to inch away from it. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get away. I'm trying to get away from it. Okay, let's just do find references of this cast too. Fuck it. Download station satellite. Oh my, wow. This this thing ain't right. Man, I'm really stupid. Why didn't I like make like a unified actor for this? He's trying to turn into a boomer. No, I just feel like I don't know. I don't know. I feel like the internet. I feel like the internet just got way more like negative in the past like 5 years. I feel like I have to just shut off my brain and not look at it anymore. Become completely just like out of the loop for my own sanity. I think that's the way to go. The download station. Wait, what? Wait, download station satellite. Spawn enemies near the player. Why the hell is this different? And the other one... do we use this? I don't think we use this. Guys? What? I don't fucking... Whatever. Alright, we'll fix it as well. Might as well. You see the amount of blueprints? Oh my god. That we're gonna have to fix. Oh god. Hope you're gonna have a great one today. Yeah, I'm alright. I'm alright. Listen, we will finish this game by the 6th of April. That's the goal. We're working towards that. I will feel so much more relieved when I don't have to work on this game anymore. Although I will probably have to work on it for console, which I'm not looking forward to. Because someone told me that the cursor doesn't work on console. Which means all of our UI would break. That's fantastic. I can't wait. Is now mainstream to be negative? It does kind of feel that way, huh? It's like, that's the fad, is to just be negative. I just entered here that cursor doesn't work. Was afraid for a moment you went full on and on AI. Dude, if I did that, you would know that I've been eaten by an alien and turned into a lizard person. If that ever happens, I've been turned into a lizard person and I'm not real. Call the police, call the CIA, call the FBI, call the, I don't know, Men in Black. Get them on my ass. All right, we got 4 blueprints we'll have to fix. Or 3, I guess. Okay. All right, next up. Enemy kill complete box. This one I think is not the one. That one's fine. Rocket projectile. Probably not that one. Drop navlink. Probably not that one. Car sequence. Right. I think we fixed this one. I think this one's fine. I think this one's fine. Yeah. Don't need to do that one. All right. The follower? I think this one's also good to go. All right. Art exhibit boss manager. Art exhibit boss manager. Do we use this anywhere else than the art exhibit? Because I don't think we use the art exhibit anymore. Or art exhibit L3. Yeah, we like that. We cut that level out. So I'm actually going to ignore that one. I'm going to ignore that one for my own sanity. Overlap enemy spawn sequence. I think we already have that one on the list. The slam door doesn't matter. Subway event. All right. This one also needs to be worked on. Dude, I hate this. I'm silly. I'm dumb. Why didn't I? Oh, man. Can I somehow maybe do all this code within the BP? What are we doing here? Are we? Yeah, we're doing a cast 2. Okay. What I could do is do a cast 2 here at the very beginning, so then that way I expose any inherited variables, and then that way maybe I could instead change this to be inside of the blueprint itself. And then that would save me time, so I don't have to copy paste code literally everywhere. Probably be a good idea. That would probably be, what's the task called? Replace all actors with proper enemy spawning sequence. Yeah, we can. Yeah, well, you know what? Yeah, I think that would be a good idea. We put it inside of the actor itself, and we just check a Boolean like dynamic spawn or something. Yes, that's the plan. Now, moving on. What next? Truck gate switch. All right. This one is also. Oh yeah, this one's fucked. Yep. Of course it is. Of course it is. Next on the block, underground elevator floor. Um, okay. You guys hear that? No, probably didn't hear that. It was a weird metal sound, like boom, like a pipe. The most important dev tool, Notepad. It is pretty powerful. It is pretty powerful, I gotta say. Um, damn, we do a lot of cast twos, huh? There are a lot of casting. We do a lot of casting. I really wonder how we have not reached memory limits. I wonder if I could profile that just by checking memory usage on the game in my task manager. Can you do that? Would that be proper profiling? Just checking memory usage on from your task manager when you have the game open? Would that give you a good, or at least a rough indicator of memory usage? Like, obviously I could look at the size map. Like, I bet you, is that everything? Let's double check again. I swear there's some more stuff. I swear that can't be the only thing. There's like there's way more like actors that spawn things. That's not, there's much more than that. For example, like the arena manager, which is also incorrect. I think it's because we're not casting to the yep, we're not casting to it. Deleting via Windows Explorer and the project won't load. Yeah, don't ever delete anything from the Windows Explorer unless you are 100% certain of what you're deleting. You'll see the number go up from everyone. It won't tell you what's doing it. Yeah, no, that's what I mean. I don't need what's telling me what's doing it. I just need to see like what is our overall memory usage, RAM usage. Yeah, you got to be careful with hard references for sure. I've been a little, negligent with them, but at the same time, my game isn't like enormous, so it's not too huge of a concern. Can I find references with spawn actor? Nope. I'm gonna do it anyways because I need to track down everything that could spawn an enemy. I was debug your code and find out how much memory will be allocated. Well, if I wanted to, for example, with the BP base enemy, what I could do is just right click this, go to the size map, and I can see a general usage of memory size from there. And it says 470 megabytes. It has a reference to the generic controller, which has a reference to the AI grunt. The AI grunt is referencing a lot of things that probably doesn't need to. And then this just kind of works down the list. So yeah. Ideally, the thing is, in here, this is referencing a lot of things that, well, besides maybe the primary default. It's referencing a lot of things in here that technically are already like loaded. But I probably could do a better job of this, to be completely fair. So this tells you kind of the going down the list. You'll see one thing and then it encompasses another thing. That means whatever is encompassing that thing has references within that. So like, for example, if I look here at the fucking BP physical weapon, it references the Qubit Impact FX spawner, which takes up 200 megs on its own, right? So if I were to cut out this reference within the physical weapon, which I don't think would be possible because I need the impact within this. But if I were to cut that out, that would mean that I'd cut out 200 megabytes from physical weapon in terms of memory size, which then it would become 20 megabytes instead of 200. And instead, it would only reference the weapon pickup and then static mesh pump shotgun, which it probably doesn't need to reference that to be. But, you know, it could be anything, but I think it's just because within this, by default, I think the static mesh is pump shotgun, which is probably why it's referencing it. So yeah, very cool. You also see disk size, which I don't really know how much use you actually get out of disk size, but memory size is probably the one you probably want to actually look through. And then you could do the same thing to your player character. I feel like those are the biggest ones that probably are the biggest culprits in terms of size mapping. This one has 470 megabytes. Again, referencing the physical weapon, referencing master secondary. What's funny is that this references the exact same thing, the BP physical weapon. It references the qubit, but it shows 176 megabytes instead of 200. So I don't know what the fuck happened there. I genuinely don't know what happened there. That's a bit weird. It's like a different number. This used to be 220. Bit weird, but it's still referencing the same things. Maybe it's a smaller number because some of these references are somewhere else, I guess. There's some of the references here, so perhaps that's why it's smaller here, because it's already referenced here. I don't know. It doesn't make too much sense to me. Yeah, that's a nice way of seeing where your memory is kind of going, or at least a general idea. Okay. Where do we have other enemy spawners? This, I would say, is a big fumble, what I did here. I think by putting the dynamic spawning system and setting all these variables inside of the base character, I think we'll save a lot of time. Then I could just delete this shit and only put unique things, and then should be fine, I think. I don't know. We'll see. Item location randomizer. Some things get cached or inlined. I have no idea. I feel like it should still show you the same number. I feel like that would make sense to me because then it's at least like the static memory usage. But maybe it is taking into account what's already being hard referenced within the actor itself. I feel like that's probably what it is. I'm sure if I were to look at it, I'd probably be able to find like a similarity. Car sequence, I think we already... Yeah, we already looked at car sequence. That one's fine. Car sequence follower, that's fine. Hidden sniper enemy, that's spawning a bullet. The red suit. Someone brought up the idea that they hate the fact that the kills count is a part of the ranking. I'm not 100% certain. Like, okay, one thing I think that we could do is we can make it so we only spawn enemies within the pathway that you need to go to actually complete the level. So for example, in the art exhibit, instead of spawning enemies in the entire level all throughout, instead we only spawn them where targets would be. That could be one way of fixing it, which I think would be a good thing to kind of focus on. I do think it's kind of annoying. When I was designing some of those levels, I was like, I have to put enemies on both sides, but this feels weird. Just doesn't feel right. Say my name. It was me. Oh, Bill. Yeah, yeah, Bill. I think you and someone else mentioned it. It is definitely, I think, something that I should look into. Our arena manager's there. Yep. Enemy wave sequence. I think we already have that one in there. Yes. I made chicken shawarma. I think you spelled shawarma wrong. Shawarma. You're making me hungry, man. What the hell, dude? Now, I wouldn't want to remove the kill thing as an S ranking. The idea of it is we don't want players to literally just rush the entire level. Because in theory, they could, and then they'd end up getting S+ ranking no matter what. So we'd need something in there that would work. I think, genuinely, I think it's more of a matter, let's just try to make it so where the player has to go is where the enemies spawn, and then in other spots, maybe we either despawn those enemies entirely, or we make them aggro the player no matter what, so then that way the player will see them ASAP. That could be one way of going about it, rather than the player having to run around and whatnot. It's just on me. Bad level design, because I'm a fucking doofus. You know, Bluetooth? I'm scope creeping myself like crazy? Why? Why are you doing that to yourself? My theory is if you get an S rank for points for a level, you should be S ranking regardless of kills. Like, we could make it so instead of kills, it becomes score. We could do that. Don't we already? No, we already have a rating for score, don't we? Yeah, we do. Wait, do we? We do. Do we? Wait. Yeah, we do. Yeah, I had to I had to think there for a second. My brain. Yeah, I'll think about what I can do. We can close off some of the side paths. That would be one solution. We just make it so it's one way. For example, the city square level, we close off one of the sides. And we just make it so you're forced to go on one of the sides. Bit cheap, but it would resolve the problem, technically. Maybe dumb question. Do blueprints get precompiled, or does it happen at runtime? I'm not smart enough to know the answer to that. Does anybody in the chat know? I don't know. I want to say it gets precompiled when you package the game. Pretty sure when you hit the compile, this precompiles the file. I don't think it does it in runtime. Is that all of our enemy spawners? Perhaps some mini bosses that are optional on the side. Maybe they give something. That doing the entire level become less of a chore. I don't know if I could do that. That'd be a lot of work. That'd be quite a bit. Making one boss enemy is already hard enough. It's too much. Interpreted at runtime? I don't know how blueprints work. I just use them. I forget everything else. I think we got all of the blueprints we need to adjust. I think. Yeah. I don't think mini bosses would fix the problem, which is trying to get S ranking requires you to kind of run around the level and whatnot. All right. So at least we have all of these. Actually, now I think about it, I should have kept track of the other ones as well because we're going to change this entire system. All right, whatever. We'll look through that shit later. We'll look through it later. Okay, so BP base enemy, BP base enemy character. We'll put the dynamic spawn in here inside of the event begin play. Okay. You could make marked targets that are a bit tougher than usual. The problem is our game design doesn't really allow for like tougher enemies necessarily. The entire game, we try to avoid bullet sponges altogether. Would you be interested in using score overflow? The numbers above S rank score threshold to increase grade values that aren't S rank already. I don't know how I'd go about doing that. I'm not sure how I'd go about doing that, to be honest. I will keep it on my mind, though, because it is definitely a problem. We just signed it. Bit of a flaw. Definitely a bit of a flaw, for sure. Now, do I want to put this in possessed, or do I want to put this in play? April 6th copium. We'll get there, man. We'll get there. Trust me. At least this list will be done. That's the goal. Finish this list at the very least. You can make a DLC. I'd rather not look at this game ever again after I'm done. I'm going to be honest with you. Unless it's to fix bugs or I guess do a console release or something. Contract work. And it's still consuming me. They brought me back in because there was some fucking shit that I needed to do. So that's really annoying. Don't you have to patch it later? Yeah, if there's any big bugs or anything like that, I'll probably have to patch it. That's the only thing I think I'll do. The game full releases. Or probably like bug fixes and stuff like that. How long you doing already? This game has been in the trenches for 4 years. And I'm sick of it. I'm ready to move on. I gotta bring this 4-year-old child to daycare and leave them there. Permanently. Semi-permanently. That's so fucked up. Ready to move to UE5 and use Nanite and Lumen? Nah, I don't even want to use Nanite and Lumen. I'm just fucking... Just put me somewhere else. Okay, how do we do this dynamic spawn sequence? We could potentially do it in the begin play. My only worry is that event... The checkpoint component is here. Add despawn, can despawn, initialize enemy controller. We need to call player spotted and then force aggro as well. John Nanite's propaganda got him? No, it's more like... I just don't like how it looks right now in its current state. And I feel like most players are just going to end up turning it off anyways. And then at that point, I might as well just optimize for one art style and one lighting situation, which is just normal dynamic lighting system without GI. Yeah, it's noisy. It's noisy. No more building lighting. Well, we'll see. Maybe I still have to build lighting. I don't know what the workflow would be like for building lighting with the dynamic lighting structure, though. I don't think that would work. Can you build lighting? Hey, question. For anybody that's in UE5, can you build lighting on packed actors? Or do you have to build an entire scene? What are packed actors? It's like a cool thing where you pack the actors into like a sub level, and then it like does instancing and shit for you. Lighting is world dependent. That kind of fucking sucks. It seems virtual everything is the future for NREL. Don't get me wrong. I like the idea of it. It's just it's not there yet. At least our hardware is not there yet to handle it. At least to the level that I'd want it to handle it. Okay, sure. When, let's start with this. We need a variable in here. Krim, how do you design gameplay stuff? Like, how do you decide what's good and what's bad? You don't know until you try it out. That's why I don't think planning everything is beneficial for you at all. It's just a matter of, hey, this would be a cool idea, and then you try it out. And if it works, cool. If it doesn't work, well, then now you know. You spin a wheel, yeah. Yeah, flip a coin. Yeah, flip a coin. I believe we want despawn, and then we want to set can despawn. Oh shit, this is for enemy wave sequence. We want these to not despawn. But there's probably other areas where we do. Let's make this instance editable. That makes the most sense, I think. Initialize enemy controller. We're gonna have to cast to it a second time. I actually don't know why I don't have a controller reference in here. Very weird. What was it doing here? Initialize enemy controller. Actually, I thought that was the controller. It's a built-in thing. What is that doing? It's a component tick enabled. Add unique. Initialize controller. Patrol variables, enemy activated, tough skin. Okay. You need a fully completed GDD before you start creating anything. If anybody gives that advice in 2025, I think you should not listen to them for anything. You don't listen to them for anything. Making a fully static GDD and then not trying to change it if things don't work out is how you just end up with a really shitty game. Right now, I'm trying to decide if a blown gun should just be arcadey and delete itself when it blows up, or if I should go to the effort of modeling and making a system that handles gun failures. Brother, just add a really simple particle effect of it blowing up, see if it feels good, and then go from there. And then when it comes to design decisions, ask yourself, does this go towards the big picture of what this game is trying to be? What is the fantasy of it? What is it trying to be? What's the style? What's the mood? Okay, does my idea match that? Okay, if it does, put the fucker in the game. Put the fucker in the game. Turn it to Wumbo, okay? Game's an acoustic Pepega simulator. All right, make it blow up. And just delete itself. That's it, baby. Wait, what? We want to set the checkpoint. That, in my opinion, would be my biggest advice. Your GDD is a over-encompassing design document. It goes through maybe... It really depends. You only really need a GDD, like an extensive one, if as you're working on the game with a big team, you write down things or keep track of things and then modify it when needed. So then that way the entire team is on understanding of what the game is trying to be and whatnot. Otherwise, if you're on your own, dude, you don't need an extensive GDD. It should just go through the basics of like what the game's trying to be, who's your target audience. Those should be like the big ticket things, not when my character dies, blah, 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 and you go like into crazy details. In my opinion, I actually think that is just a waste of time. Especially if it's like stuff you're writing in the GDD that you haven't even started the fucking game yet. Like, dude, just go in the engine. Go in the engine. RDR2 is detailed to the point where I appreciate more details. Yeah, but you're not RDR2. You're not Rockstar. Let's be real, okay? let's be real. You're not Rockstar. Isn't GDD for teams also? Yeah, I would just consider a GDD for the most part for a team. But the thing is, even a GDD for a team will probably shift and change and modify itself. And you then need to update the GDD in response to the modifications that you make in the game. So then that way the entire team is on board with what's going on. Or you end up in fucking chaos. 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 Do you prefer RDR2's slow, well-animated gun draw and actually chambered bullets and reload animation on point, or a quick, snappy switch to weapon? Do you prefer RDR2's slow, animated gun draw and actual chambered bullets and reload animation on point, or a quick, snappy switch to the weapon? It depends on the game. I think it 100% depends on the game. It depends on the game, in my opinion. Again, that comes down to game identity. What is the game trying to be? I feel like RDR2 kind of goes into like simulation territory to an extent, where they really try to like make everything serious to the point where they're like simulating the horse's genitals for some reason. Most common answer is it depends. I think anybody giving a solidified answer to that is probably someone who is too overconfident. I think it 100% depends on the game. I think it 100% depends on the game. I think Snappy might feel better, but it might not match the game or what it's trying to do. Because RDR2 also has an online. And so they're probably trying to compensate for that to an extent. Although I feel like Rockstar does not give a shit about online. Even though it's their biggest moneymaker. It's so... dude, how the fuck are shark cards... There's definitely... Dude, Rockstar is doing some cocaine or something. They're doing something. They're selling cocaine. That's their side business. There's no way people actually buy shark cards that much. They're literally called Rockstar. Go to a campsite, the dude chopping onions on the cutting board is actually cutting onions, and he'll put it in the stew. Try implementing that, and then come back to me a month later and tell me, hey, maybe that was a bad idea. There are just certain things, just don't try to follow what Rockstar does, because they're just on a completely different level. You got to focus on what you can focus on. Focus on the real meat, okay? Your stew is not the actual stew in the game. The stew is the game itself. All right, work on the stew properly. Okay, what other things do we need here? We set the checkpoint. We do call player spotted and then force aggro. My only worry is we call event possessed here. Oh, it's the behavior tree that hasn't been associated yet. Okay. It's really easy to get burnt out doing game development. You're especially susceptible to burnout when you're working on an ambitious project solo or with a small team. Like, let's go into the nuance of that a little bit further, though, because I don't think we can just say big project equals burnout. I think it comes down to a lot of factors. I think it comes down to, you can still do a big project, just be careful what you're adding into the game. If it's within your skill level, if it's outside your skill level, put that into account when you're getting into it. Because I feel like you can still work on a big project, but you just need to work on the things that you really enjoy. And there are going to be moments where you work on things you don't enjoy, because there are parts of game development that are just not enjoyable for like anybody, really. And I think that will just come into account. And I think those are the moments where, as a solo dev or a small team, you have to work in a way that is completely different from larger teams. Larger teams will be precise. They'll be like, you're working on this, you're working on this, you're working on this. This is what you're working on. You do this. In a solo or a small team, there are moments in time where I would argue you have to think about your mental health as like a tool or something that needs to be focused on. And in those moments, I would say it's okay to work on things that don't entirely add to the big picture of the game, but just makes you feel good and you have a fun time with it. Like, for example, like cape physics. To random eyes, you would think, oh, that's really stupid because it's not adding to the big picture. But the thing is, that could be like an element that's really fun. And most of the times, those little fun elements end up being your biggest marketing push. So, it is definitely a game of keeping track of your mental state and keeping up with that, because you're in a different ball game than AAA studios. I don't think following AAA studios' footsteps are the best thing to do, in my opinion. I don't got time to think about mental health. I got a game to make. Base Eater. People are crazy and don't mind working on a big project for like 10 years of life, but not everyone is like that. Not everyone is like that. Some people just want to release small games. Some people don't even want to release anything. They just want to have a good time with it, and that's perfectly fine. I think everybody's going to have a different expectation and wanting to do things. I think on a big project, yes, you have a chance of getting burnt out, but I think you also have the exact same chance to get burnt out on a small project as well. It's just that a small project has a smaller scope, so you end up, pushing it away sooner than a big project does. But I feel like that burnout could probably stack up as you keep working on a bunch of small games. I think it's everybody's different. Just go into it. Just start working on something. You'll figure it out as you go. Self-discovery. I was immune to burnout for a few thousand hours on a daily grind until I hit, and then took 2 years to open my project again. I think for me, I just try to work on like little tasks, and I just keep track of everything that I can work on, and I just try to fucking get through this thing, It's not like I'm 100% burnt out on this game, but I definitely have slowed down. There are moments where I just don't want to wake up because I'm like, dude, I don't want to work on this. Diversifying interests and hobbies can help. Yeah, that also helps. When you feel like you don't want to work on the game, don't work on the game. Don't force yourself to work on the game. Do something else. Tell yourself, I'm going to do something else today. And just be, I think the big thing is, at least how I have felt about it, is the big thing, I think, is being purposeful with your time. Be purposeful with your time. Be like, I'm going to do 3 hours of game dev today, and then focus within those 3 hours, and then do whatever the fuck else you want to do. Or if you feel like you don't want to work on the game, don't work on it. And say, I don't want to work on the game today. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want to do today. I'm going to play some video games. Who gives a shit? Because if you keep saying, oh, I should work on my game today. Oh, I should work on my game today. Oh, I should work. Well, guess what? Now you're just burning yourself out. Good job. You got to be, in my opinion, I think one thing I learned as I get older is you just got to be really purposeful with your time. And if you're not purposeful with your time, you always feel the need that you need to do more. And that doesn't help you. And then you end up just putting yourself into a pit. You dig yourself a 6-foot hole. Looks like you need to change your wake-up regimen. Put your face in ice water while wearing tape on your mouth. What the hell? I just need to wake up. Wake up! So you'll check off 2 and you'll likely be check off 3. Unlike me, I'm over here staring at my screen, not checking anything off. All right, replace all the actors with a proper enemy spawning system. So we now created something in the begin play. which can now be used for all of these actors. So it adds unique despawn. Then we made the other despawn boolean a exposed variable. Wait. Okay, can despawn is set to true by default. I see. Okay, that makes sense. Have you not seen the meme currently? It's some dude that has stupid things he does in the morning every day, and everybody's making fun of it. It's part of it. He wears tape on his mouth. Oh, I saw Dr. K talking about that. I know what you're talking about. He puts like really expensive water or some shit. Yeah, and then he dips his face into it. And then he goes on like a swim and shit in his like own pool or what. Dude, I don't know how any of that affect, like, I think I've gotten old to the point where like those videos don't impact me. I just look at it and I'm like, that's a boring morning regimen. Just it seems so stupid. Cherish your time. Just rush your first game out so you can go, I made that. Doesn't matter if it sucks or if it's buggy. You don't have to put out on the Steam market. Just get a game out. That way you can work out what it would be like to work on a bigger project. I don't like that advice, personally. But maybe it's because it took me like 6 years to release my first game. So maybe it wasn't. Maybe I'm not the best person for that kind of advice. I would say know what you want out of a game release. Have an expectation. And don't make the expectation, I want to make $1 million. That's not an expectation. We're writing some fucking paragraphs in here. What's going on? Big thing for me was playtesting, getting feedback outside of the playtest scope. That was brutal, but it was really great feedback, and I was lost on how to implement it. Motivation took a hit, and I just kept trying to start the engine, but it wouldn't turn over. Yeah, feedback is one of those things you have to figure out where the player is coming from when they provide the feedback, and then try to figure out your best implementation for that. And sometimes it's very difficult to come down to a solution for things. And the idea will crumble very quickly sometimes. That's why I just think extensive GDDs are just not the best thing, because they will change constantly. Facts. I'm gonna make 2 million. You know, tweak. Where's a coffee and self-loathing? Right? Yeah, dude. What the hell? Where's the like 9 a.m. fucking McDonald's visit to get breakfast? I don't eat McDonald's anymore, actually. You'll burn out a lot sooner if you force yourself to work on your game. I think the key picture there is you can work hours upon hours on a game. I think it's just spread out the time a little bit when you're working on stuff, and try not to force yourself to work on it. There are moments where you might have to force yourself, but try not to. I think that's the big thing. But there will be moments where you probably will have to start kind of pushing yourself a little bit. Discipline does become kind of a concept. I don't know where you would get discipline. Listen, I wake up at like very late. So how's life recently? Oh, you know, life. Oh, you know, life. Is this everything? It's initialize. Double checking. Yes, we call player spotted. All right, looks good to me, I think. Wait. Go back to the base enemy character. I'm concerned. Our default run speed is happening afterwards. I'm actually thinking this should be like this. We'll call the dynamic spawn afterwards. I'm not 100% happy about that, but I think it should still work just fine because all of these other systems are doing it. How does a spawn actor work in Blueprint? When we spawn an actor, is this going to call begin play immediately first and then call this stuff, or is this going to be called right after and then this begins play? Or is it going to be asynchronous and begin play is going to happen while we call this stuff? I'm a little concerned. I don't know what the I don't know what the order of events would be here. I guess we'll find out. Because my main concern is if we called this here, I believe when we call player spotted, we adjust the walk speed. If you want to spawn an actor and do that stuff after, you have to build the actor with the stuff that you call after. What the hell did you just say? No, I mean like when we spawn an actor, does it call begin play within the spawn actor and then continue the blueprint code afterwards? That's what I was wondering. If we spawn an actor here, is it going to call begin play within itself first and then call this stuff? Or is it going to spawn it, then do this stuff, and then begin play? Begin play spawn called in the spawn actor. Okay, so this should be fine. Doing the dynamic spawn stuff afterwards should be fine. I'm in my 40s and almost nothing can surprise me anymore. I stopped watching movies. YouTube is slowly getting boring and everything in life is so meh. Sounds like you need to do something outside of your comfort zone. Something that I should probably do as well, in some regards. Spice up life a little bit, you know? Start doing drugs. No, that's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. I have to specify legally that it is a joke. Have you ever heard of methamphetamines? No, I don't know. Like, I'm not in my 40s yet, so I don't know. But I am getting close to my 30s, and I don't know. I don't know if I'd say getting like bored of everything. I guess I am slowly getting in the feeling of like nothing can surprise me anymore. But it's like maybe it's just like, oh well, this is life. I thought when I was young everything was like put together. In reality, that wasn't the case. I would say my biggest advice is, I think as internet becomes such a larger thing and such an integral thing of life, go on the internet less. Go on the internet less. Just trust me. I think us not knowing what was going on around the world was actually kind of better for us in many ways. It's good that we know what's going on in the world, but I also think it's actually not good that we know what's going on around the world to an extent. Because then you see everything. See everything. You see every opinion. You see everything going on in the world. It's just like, dude, just get off the internet a little bit. Just, you know, I myself should do this. Go outside more. Every time I go outside, though, I get like giga anxiety, and then I like have to take a massive shit, and then I'm stuck in the toilet for like 30 minutes. It sucks, dude. I just want to go outside. Why can't my body let me go outside like a normal human being? I gotta check my Slack messages. What happened now? Crimson endorsing drugs. Oh, great. Here we go. Someone delete that clip. Someone pull a pirate software and shorten that clip. When I was a young teen, I remember thinking the human race has been around for ages. They have to have sorted out most of the issues, right? No. Can't be pirate software. It didn't work at Blizzard. Sorry, I don't have 7 years experience at Blizzard. That's true. I apologize. I'm also not a giga hacker. I'm sorry. I apologize. Can't hear it on stream, by the way. I just click on the clip. Listen, I don't want to hear it on stream. Okay, you guys, you guys are gonna double clip it. Did you recently bail out on your party? That would qualify too. No, I don't play shitty MMORPGs. That's the difference. Andrew's gonna work for Blizzard. I'm excited to see what he's working on. Only RuneScape. RuneScape's the best MMORPG. It also has the worst community in existence, but you know, if you get past that, it's the best MMORPG. I think the old school RuneScape community is what drags down that game's ability or capabilities of reigning supreme and being so much better than it is. The fact that they do the whole polling thing, I think is fucking stupid now. Like the sailing skill is such a huge, in my opinion, I think sailing is going to be fucking sick if they nail that. And I think based off of what we saw from the alpha and what like the progress they're making on it, I think it's going to be so awesome. I think it's going to be so sick. And the fact that it is still a close, almost 50-50 fucking poll for people not wanting sailing goes to show, I think the OSRS community is fucking just busted. They're on drugs. Go to Rizwan. MMORPGs were the bee's knees when I grew up. The more I realized they were designed to waste your time, not entertain you, but actually waste, the more I don't want to play. In some respects, yeah. They kind of do waste your time. It's kind of like at least RuneScape, it's like leveling up skills to 99 doesn't even fucking give you anything. It's just like it's just for ego, I guess, or just to show it off. But it's like, is that really a good thing to show off? Is that you got 99 wood cutting by clicking a bunch of fucking trees for hours? Is that really the flex you think it is? I don't know. I think that's actually an anti-flex. Why am I getting 99 wood cutting? For nothing. Is when I was a kid, I played RuneScape and I didn't really get what MMOs were about, and I decided I was going to be a trader. And then I stood in the exchange and made something like 2 mil gold. I highly doubt you made 2 mil back then on RS2 or RS3. I guess RS2 at that time. Flipping was like such an unknown concept that like nobody really knew about back then. And also the Global Exchange came out in 2000 and when did the Global Exchange come out? I want to say that was like 2010. Maybe 2011. 2007? Was the Grand Exchange in 2007? There's no fucking way. RS2, when did Grand Exchange come out? 2007? Jeez. I don't remember it being 2007. Interesting. The more VR becomes more mainstream, the sooner you'll see more MMO mechanics rise back up. You get your entire purpose and sense of achievement from those sources. The more VR becomes more mainstream, the sooner you'll see more MMO mechanics rise back up. I don't think anybody wants to grind to 99 woodcutting in VR. I think that would be absolutely fucking painful. That's a physical health risk right there, brother. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know about that one. The red suit spawner. Why are we here? Can despawn is set to false. Dynamic spawn. Track kill time. Okay, that's fine. Arena manager. We can delete this. We can delete this. We are going to keep the binding. We can delete this. And we can keep the current enemies. So that's the idea. And then in here, we want to turn off can despawn, turn on dynamic spawn. And then that should be basically the workflow that we have to do for all of these blueprints. Yay! I hope it works. All right, underground elevator floor. Oh, this has a random Boolean weight for force aggro. I don't know how I feel about that. Did I play Adventure Quest Worlds? Adventure Quest Worlds. I don't think so. Adventure Quest? I don't know why that sounds so familiar. Adventure Quest Worlds. No. Maybe? It looks kind of familiar. No, not really. Adventure Quest sounds familiar. I don't know why it sounds familiar. Something about it sounds familiar. The main MMORPGs I played back then were RuneScape, MapleStory, and then at some point I would play Guild Wars 2. And then what are some other MMORPGs I probably played? Okay, I am a little worried about this force aggro because we don't want all of the enemies to be forced aggro. Especially in this sequence. I guess you know what we could do? We do the reverse and then we turn off force aggro. I don't know if that would work, but let's find out. So then we can delete this. Some of these I gotta be careful with. Hold on, let's diff this real quick. We want these to despawn. So we want these guys to despawn. And then in here, because this is not showing the right actor, I want to do a cast to BP base enemy character. We do a pure cast. Actually, should we do a pure cast? I feel like it's fine if we just do impure. And then that means this will change. Are we still diffing? I'm not diffing anymore. Why is this still showing the damn thing? Okay, fine, sure. Okay. And then that becomes base enemy character. Can despawn is set to true, and we do dynamic. I think that should be fine. My MMO days are over. I'll probably play sailing again in old school RuneScape because it's probably like there's a chance of like a lot of content being in the game at that point. But beyond that, yeah, I don't really see myself playing MMOs unless I'm like with like friends or something playing it. Then maybe if like friends for some reason want to get into an MMO. But yeah, I don't really know. Don't really know. I still remember when old school RuneScape was mostly just a browser game. I still remember, where was it? The ad. There was an ad banner at the very top or on the side. I don't remember where it was. There was always an ad banner. And I remember I think I used to play it on like Miniclip or whatever it was called. Whatever that website was. Back then. So I think we do want these to despawn. The problem is, if we despawn them, does that mean that the player lost out on those enemies? I don't know. Oh god, we're gonna have so many fucking bugs, dude. This whole just enemy system and everything is just a pain in the fucking balls. Whatever. Okay, moving on. Truck gate switch. We can delete this. Yeah, mini clip, dude. Mini clip. The good stuff. I think we can delete all of this, actually. Can despawn. Yes. Dynamic spawn. Truck gate switch. Yeah, we want to keep can despawn. In fact, now I think about it, what was that other actor we just modified and I turned off can despawn? Now I'm a little concerned. Alright, well, whatever. Oh well, I suppose. The thing is, it wasn't modifying the Boolean. We might be breaking a lot of things, alright? This game is just broken, okay? It's just... a broken-ass game. Alright, next up on the chopping block. Yeah, I don't know if... I feel like can despawn, we want to set that to false, but... I could be wrong. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll need to do some extensive testing before we release, I think, this update onto the public branch. I want to do some like extensive testing and see what kind of problems might arise. I already saw something on Discord about the enemy kill count not being correct, so I'm gonna have to look into that. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. All right, the download station. Collision handling override. Do not spawn. I actually don't know if I want the download station to actually be put a part of the checkpoint value. But fuck it, whatever. Cast 2, true, cast that, bada bing. Can despawn. I guess it's fine. Kind of want to disable this one for this one. No, we probably do want to not, yeah, we'll just do that. All right. I'm sure none of this is going to break. I actually don't even know if this is even being, I don't think this blueprint's even being used anymore, so. Not adding gun failures has made my work simple. What? Gun failures are just not fun in games. I feel like they're just not fun. In games like Tarkov, it's like, oh, you just have to keep your gun's fucking durability at 100%. And the more you repair it, the less that you can get it to 100%. And then you end up like with a 10% chance for your gun to like, it's just not a, it's like an it's just a frustrating mechanic. I guess Tarkov is just frustrating in all respects, though. I guess that's its identity at this point. Just masochism. It's just ugh. 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 Wait, I don't understand. Enemy types is a type of actor? Why is it not BP enemy character? Ninja Grunt Merc Knife. I actually don't understand why this one's not BP enemy character. Okay, there we go. The array didn't update. Dynamic spawn. All right. Okay. And then this one, which is technically working. However, I think it would be... It's like already doing a cast. It already has the class type, so we can actually delete these right now. The only thing we want to keep is that and this. In fact, I think we can just delete this. Okay. All right, we're looking good. I hope I didn't break anything in the game. I probably did, but that's fine. We'll figure it out. Okay. I think we looked through all of these. So I'm gonna call this one done. We still have more tasks. Back to Notion, and then in here, replace all actors, done. And then the next one in here is hard code the time for enemy mercs to fire to be a static value rather than based on distance. Okay. Do we keep track of the difficulty somewhere in the game? Because I think I use the save file for everything, don't I? Which is kind of annoying. Yep. Yep. I don't really like that. Because then that means we have to load every single time the enemy wants to take a shot. And I ain't talking alcohol. I'm talking guns. All right. Hard code the time for enemy marks to fire to be a static value. Where does that happen, first and foremost? Where does that happen? I don't know, actually. Counts missed shot. Shouldn't this be turned to false? I think because the owner is the merc, it doesn't matter. Okay. Let's go to fire weapon, I think is what it's called. Here it is. And where is the time calculation being done? Lifetime. Here, right here. Okay. So we want to do this differently. We don't want to do it this way. And I also want to check what the difficulty of the game is. How do I determine what the difficulty is? Did he freeze? Did the stream freeze? Chat? Guys? When we select a difficulty... Did he freeze? Oh no, I accidentally paused the stream. Well... I want to find, where do we start the game? Because I don't remember where we start the game. I think it's in the loadout menu. Aha. I found it. Force continue. We set the difficulty of the run save slot. And then we save the game to the slot. We should, because I want to be able to read from the game instance, I think, rather than having to load the game from the slot. That would suck, having to do that constantly every time the enemy wants to shoot. Herm. I'm like looking at this code and I'm like, dude, this is potato. I got some potato code. We do a switch level. Which, does it load the slot from here? Oh my goodness. Do we not ever... Oh no, we saved the run to the slot right here. Wait, where is it? It's loading the game from slot? It's not saving it. It's not saving it. Where's it going? It's not saving it anywhere. Oh. What is this song? It's not a song. It's a whole ass fucking novel, man. That's what that was. A short novel being read to us. So let me get this right. We called the session and we called the run save slot, but we don't actually set the save slot anywhere. We set it here on save chapter session. But we don't call it from this spot, which is save run to slot. Which is really, really fucking stupid. I hope I don't break anything by doing this. There's a high probability, actually. A high probability. I don't think so, but I'm sure it's fine. I don't understand why that point is there when we can just do that. Past me? Hello? Past me? On something? Too much caffeine? All right. Run save slot. I'm sure that won't break anything. I'm sure it's fine. Okay. All right. Cool. Wait. Well, I need to go back to that code. I need to go back to where this is. Okay. We set the difficulty nowhere. You what now? We set the difficulty here. We set it to the run save slot. I guess it's already set. It's just loading it. So it's fine. Okay, so where's my interface? I think I have an interface for the game instance, don't I? Yes, I do. We're going to do a get function, get difficulty. Get session difficulty. The output is going to be difficulty. Going to be a integer. You can't make a Blueprint interface a pure function, can you? That really sucks. That'd be cool if you could. It'd be really cool if you could. And then in here, what we'll do is we'll get the run save slot, and then we'll get the difficulty from that. And surely this won't cause any issues. I think. Let's take a look at the continue game button, which I think continue game. Let's look at the continue game button. Just for safety, I just want to go through every possible thing. So when we hit continue, we call switch level, which calls loading saved run. Loading saved run is the bottom. And that is set to true. So true, it goes through this path, should save, load save slot. We load the game slot. We load the game slot, however, we do not set the slot. So let's go ahead and set the slot. And then can I take all of these strands of hair and move them somewhere else? No? Okay. That's probably fine. Because I think it's only doing getters. I don't think it's actually setting anything up. Yeah, it's not setting anything. Okay. So this shouldn't break anything. I think. Each day we strive closer to clicking plus new project. Dude, it's going to be so therapeutic when we click that fucking button. And then we click it like 6 more times because I end up dropping the other games. It's going to be so fucking awesome. I don't have to update a game. It's just me working on a cool game, making some YouTube videos of it. And then it's going to be just devlog 1. It's going to be so sick. Oh, dude, yes. Yes. We could work on anything. Anything and everything. We could work on 3 games at once. Every time someone joins the stream. So what is it today? Oh, you know, it's like idle top-down clicking game. Off-topic tip, multimedia keyboard with playback controls can control Spotify. I actually use my Stream Deck for that. I have my whole Stream Deck set up for Spotify. Here, I can actually show you guys, I think. Shows the amount of time the track is on. I got minus and plus volume buttons. Next track. There you go. Hitman type game? No, probably not. Can you work on your hygiene? Hey, how about you work on your fucking social skills, asshole? How about that? Farm YouTube with devlog 1. Actually, though. And then never release the game, ever. And then disappear for 5 years. What do you think, I actually already forgot his name. What's his name? The guy that was working on the guy that worked on, the guy that was working on Carlson. What's his name again? I forgot his name. Danny? Danny, that's the one. What do you think he's doing right now? Drinking a pina colada? Having a tan on a beach or something? Is he working on like the most giga game possible? The game dev video to beat them all. Do you think he's actually rich? I don't know. Let's look at YouTube analytics. Danny. Danny's YouTube statistics. Damn, he's a C+ grade? What the fuck? Let's see how many views he gets. He gets... How many views per day? Like 15K? Daily average is 18,000. Weekly average is 100,000. Last 30 days, 500,000. Yeah, he's probably still making money. Now, I don't know how much. I think 500,000 is like what, $1,000 bucks? Something like that. $1,000 I'm pretty sure. Generally, average. That's pretty good. wonder what he's doing right now. He must be working on like a super giga game, right? That's got to be what he's doing. Aren't you in a server with him? Yeah, but I don't talk in that server much. Or at all, actually. I actually don't know. Is he in that server? I don't think he's in that server anymore. I was in another server, and then I think he was in that server, and then I don't think he's in this server anymore. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not in a server with him. What if secretly he's the guy that made Schedule 1? What even is this game dev studio? TVGS? What if he's the guy that made Schedule 1? It's kind of got a little bit of his art style a little bit. It kind of got that vibe. It's got a bit of his vibe, I feel like. You know what I mean? Who is TVGS? Has anybody asked the question? Who is TVGS? Who are they? Oh. Literally the entire name is Tyler's Video Game Studio. Damn it, it's Australians! They're so giga devs, man. Tyler could just be an alt. Are you saying that they're faking that they're from Australia? Where was Danny from? I don't even remember. Sweden? Maybe that was a front. Okay. I looked up at which engine this game was made and I found a Reddit post from the dev saying that this was just their passion project. I saw the game and it looks fun, but also boring at the same time. It's kind of interesting. I don't know if it's maybe like it's one of those games where it's like the beginning is just kind of slow. It's just, oh, you have weed and you kind of just grow it and deal it and that's it. And then like I wonder maybe there's like a lot more that goes into it later on. But it's got to have a lot of depth based on the fact that it's like overwhelmingly positive and it's doing really well. It's slow at first, and then you get employees, got to fight people, more drugs, car and shit. Okay, I see. I see. So it does get pretty in depth. I know about the hiring people and fighting people thing, but like fighting like gangs and shit, or it looks like it does the whole drug simulator thing pretty well. I feel like it's one of the better. You know how there's like so many like weed growing simulator and shit. I feel like this is probably one of the better ones that actually goes like into quite a bit of depth, I suppose. I think for me though, I don't know, just didn't. Also, I think it's multiplayer, which I guess is a pretty big sell for some people, right? Is it multiplayer? I swear I thought someone playing with friends. Yeah, online co-op. 10,000 reviews. I literally looked at it this morning and it was just 9,000. That's crazy, dude. I love it. I love how indie games like that beat games like Assassin's Creed Shadows and shit like that. Isn't it top seller right now? Yep. Schedule 1 and Repo at the top. At the tippity top. Rip Bozo AAA. I'm honestly of the opinion I feel like AAA has just it's tried to outgrow itself way beyond what it's capable of. Okay, so we have the interface for get session difficulty. Now let's go back to fire weapon. AAA executives are so confused. They're so out of touch, man. What up, HFG? I feel like AAA executives are just so incredibly out of touch. I'm watching a horror documentary for a game story at 2 a.m. Why are you doing that to yourself? Why are you But why are you doing that to yourself? You know, ask that question. Session difficulty. Is 0 the lowest difficulty? I think it is. All right, so now we're hard coding the values. So what was the clamp there? 1.2. Let's do 1.2 seconds. Or let's do 1.5 seconds for lowest difficulty. Then we'll do 1.2. Then we'll do 1. And then we'll do 0.8 for the lowest difficulty. Or highest difficulty, I guess. Let's do 0.7 and then 0.8. Or 0.9. Zero 0.5 was the lowest. I think this is fair. Those games are all played by streamers right now, Repo and Schedule. I think they're just really good streaming games too. I feel like maybe that's also a contributor. Repo is a really good streaming game. I feel like Schedule 1's kind of like one of those chill streaming games where you have like downtime a lot of the time as well, where you can kind of like talk to chat. The game's dope, by the way. Hey, thank you. You almost made me try and replicate it with zero knowledge. I encourage anyone to go in and try to make some fun John Wick style games. I feel like it's I think it's still up for the taking. I think someone can still make a really sick game that kind of fills that, I think, that desire that players want. I don't think I've done the best job, but I think I did an okay job. All right, let's hope this works. I think maybe not. I don't know. So let's go in here. Let's start with like the lowest difficulty. Let's see how long it takes the gun dude to shoot me. And then I still don't know why that guy goes around the edge there. So that looks like I feel like that's a reasonable amount of time. How you execute the mechanics is awesome. Well, I'm glad. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, the door kicking is fun. I think that's all. That's all part of the. It's all part of the fun. I'm sure some people would probably think, oh, that's a little, you know, ridiculous because he's like kicking it down so strong. But I feel like that just adds to the fun. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's faster. I feel like we could make it a little bit faster for this difficulty. But maybe that's a good thing, because like we have to remember that there's going to be other things on screen going on too most of the times. Wait, where is that dude going? Why is he behind the truck? I feel like anytime an indie game does well, it has a silly premise and low poly graphics. I don't remember the last time an indie game tried to be more serious, did more than 500 reviews. I wouldn't call Repo low. Well, it's low. It's got a style to it. I wouldn't really consider it low poly though. I guess it is low poly, but it's just got a more goofy style to it. I'm sure you could probably look up games that in recent times that have a non-low poly art style that still did really well, like web fishing. I guess, would web fishing be considered low poly? I guess. Suppose. I feel like there are games that are indie games that are beyond just low poly though. It's extreme low poly. I look at it as, I guess low poly. When I look at low poly as in an art style, low poly, I feel like I look at it as just low poly, like that as the art style, right? Like I would consider Repo as like they do like a lot of other stuff in here, right? To kind of bring out the style. Like Spilled. I think Spilled is in 3D, but it has a pixel modifier, right? Is that what it's doing? Very cool. Yeah, I don't know what the most recent indie games released are. Besides, I guess Schedule 1 Repo, I suppose, and but I will say, I do think, yeah, the most successful indie games are just like the ones recently are just games that are just not really taking themselves seriously. I think that is definitely definitely a contributor. They're just not trying to be too serious. Because I think the thing is, when you try to make a game that's being too serious, I think anything that goes wrong just pulls the player out of the game, and then you end up kind of it becomes a lot harder to make a game that works when it's trying to be too serious. That's kind of one of my concerns with the zombie game idea, is that I kind of want it to be serious, but at the same time I feel like I shouldn't. I feel like I should go into more of a goofy kind of direction. Low poly is just low poly. Yeah, when I just think of someone saying low poly art style, I think of just like the art style of low poly, which in my opinion I just don't like very much. Most games are low poly at low settings. If you think about it, most games are low poly unless they're like doing nanite or some shit. Put my mind to ease, man. You gotta stop watching horror games or horror stories at night, dude. Hey, may I recommend a little bit of Northern Lion? All right, watch him play some Bazaar or some Nubby's Number Factory or whatever the name is called. that'll soothe the mind. All right. So that's decrease time based on game development. Sweet. So we did both of those. AI improvements is done. Sort of. It's okay, I guess. I don't want to delete the entire section because there's a high probability I might need more tasks for it, but we're looking pretty good. Now we just got the RPG weapon. Explosion, and then explosion sound. Okay. Last two things we'll do today. Fallen Aces? Isn't Fallen Aces like 2D? 2D characters? Oh yeah, this game is sick, dude. This game is sick. It's fucking sick. Such a unique style, dude. Such a unique style. All right, so the RPG, which is right here. I know it looks like a shotgun. Don't be fooled. We need an explosion sound. And then we need various other things. So rocket projectile. Explosion. Which one of these are we using? I'm going to assume this one, if it has the correct thing associated with it. Nope. Not this one. Unless maybe we are using that one. No, we're not using that one. Okay, which one? Which one are we using? Hold on. You could look at the explosive barrel and see what this, which one this is spawning. Bullet impact heavy, and then it is playing explosion 02 layered. I guess. I suppose. What up, Andrew? Has a 6-month side project going? You know. Oh, we're getting there, you know. 6-month side project, you know. We're almost there. We're almost there. April 6th, that's the goal. I'm getting around 60 to 100 FPS on cinematics. Engine scalability and 4 gigs of VRAM. 4 gigs of RAM, i7 11 Gen. On TA, is that good performance? That seems pretty good to me, at least. 5 years later, yeah, 4 years actually. 4, not 5. That extra year, it matters to my sanity. It matters to my sanity. Okay. How are you doing, Andrew? I vote that the sound is just you saying boom. I'm too lazy to record myself. All right, so we got the explosion sound, numero uno done. Then we need the explosion AoE damage, which is a pretty easy fix. In fact, it's such an easy fix that I'll just copy the code from the barrel. Let's also play a camera shake. That'd be kind of sick. Unless we already do. Do we? We don't. I'm good. How's it going? It's going all right. Just trying to finish this shit. I thought I was going to be free from my contract work for like a week or two, and then they just dragged me back in. It's like, well, okay, I guess. So after this, probably going to have to do more work. My mini list is basically done. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Okay, good. We have a bit of camera shake. Next up on the block is dealing damage. I think this is actually incorrect. We don't want this here. Call this for each loop. Oh, there's a radial force. We might... Yeah, we might want to call that. Yeah, whatever. Whoa! Get actor location. Technically, instead of actor location, I should be using the hit result, but I'm sure this is fine. Right? Sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. And then we deal a damage of 29. Okay. Okay. And then let's do this. Instead of hit result, we are going to call from that. And then I guess we'll just great. Whatever. I'm so you guys, I'm over it. I'm over it, okay? The clean blueprints, at some point it's got to go, okay? My sanity is dwindling, okay? I'm going crazy, man. I'm going crazy, man. Impact point. I don't know, get actor location, I guess. Listen, I'm gonna be fine. Called bullet hit enemy. This isn't a bullet. It's an explosive. It's an explosive, okay? All right, looking good. Slap an enemy right here. Enemy, grunt. Blueprint class. Yes! And then it should also be able to damage me. Yeah, that sounds about right. The final stretch of finishing a project is always the most difficult. I'm just really lazy, and I am burnt out of this, I think. I just want to work on the next thing. And then probably get burnt out on that too. You know how it goes. All right. Yeah. New mini list? No, more like I'm going to go. Thanks for dropping by. Good amount of stuff done. More blue check boxes. More blue check boxes tomorrow. Potentially more blue check boxes tonight. Who knows? In fact, probably, because I need to get more of this done. We are getting closer, ever closer to the 6th. We have 1, 2, 3. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days. We got 10 days, or 11 if I count today, until the 6th, which is our intended completion date. I heard that before. Listen, it's my internal goal that I'm setting for myself, which will hopefully push me to get more of this stuff done. We're getting a bunch of it done, though. Yeah. What's next? Like the next project? I don't know. Probably a marketplace asset, maybe. And then figuring out what next game to work on. Could be anything. Could literally be anything. Yeah. I'm hungry. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Do I want to break from game dev? Like, I'll be one of you soon. One of us. Maybe I'll do like a break from doing games, and I'll just make it like a marketplace asset. Just take a little break and then figure out what I want to do next. We could work on that like top-down kind of idle game. Could work on Ronin, maybe. It would take so fucking long to work on that game, man. Even with the downscoped concept in my head. Could work on what's Ronin? It's a thing. Fart in the wind. Could work on the zombie roguelite game, which ultimately I would like to work on and work towards working on. Honestly, though, I should just do what the other games are doing. You guys are right. Maybe not like realistic art style. Maybe I do like low poly art style, and then that allows me to do more goofy stuff for the zombie game. I don't know. Let's do a crappy $5 walking horror walking sim. That's gonna be Ronin. It'll be a terrifying game. Damn, you get a warehouse and everything in this game? Taco Ticklers. You can own a restaurant? No wonder this game got overwhelmingly positive. You can own a restaurant. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. It also implies short dev time. Don't think you can manage? Yeah, sorry. I only like overscoping gigantic projects. I'm kind of a drug. Yes. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for dropping by. Goodbye. See you then. It's gonna be Pog. For real. We're getting almost at the finish line. I'm gonna go buy some Korean fried chicken. And maybe bubble tea.